Hey everybody, Brett Mix here from Macho Madness on the YouTube channel. Hit like and subscribe if you like my wrestling reviews. I stay up to date with Raws and SmackDowns. Plus I have tons of old school content. We pump out videos every day, so if you like it, please hit subscribe. That would mean a great deal to me. I'm trying to get the channel off the floor. But next we got Raw, Monday Night Raw from Omaha, Nebraska. 10/09/23 is your date. So let me get this straight. They had Damian Priest not only not cash in at the beginning of the show, but they had him wait till Rollins was blindsided in the middle of the ring. Even after Rollins says he's expecting an attack. So that's their great plan. They don't attack at Fastlane, but they attack tonight on Raw, even though it's just 2 days later. And Rollins is in not the same amount of shape he would have been in at the end of the Fastlane. He's in way better shape now, and he's even expecting an attack. But they go with it just didn't make any sense. It wasn't logical, and they even had Dirty Dom come down the apron before Drew McIntyre was there, and he was even telling Dirty Dom was even saying to Drew, "What are you doing? I'm letting him cash in the Money in the Bank." Yeah, but you look like a bitch doing it, and it's not gonna work. They look like fools. It just doesn't make sense because they push the Judgment Day at some point to make them look good. And then they make them look fools inadvertently. I don't believe they try to make them look like fools. And I realize it's all about storyline progression, but my God, this is just at least tell a good story all the time. Like, are they fucking serious? Next up, Ivar took on Kingston in a Vikings rule match. Kofi lands on his head. "Let's go Kofi" is chanted after Ivar suplexed him on his head. Ivar got Kofi into one of those shields set up on the apron right below the ropes. Then there's a table set up right beside the ring, and Ivar launched to the floor by Kingston through the table. Ivar kicks out as they go to commercial. Kofi then took Ivar's spear and came off the top with him choking him with it. There's a table set up in another corner of the ring. A kick out by Ivar as Kingston takes him down. Kingston splashed Ivar with a spinning slam, just a two. Ivar hit a powerbomb on Kingston, but a kick out. Ivar hit Kofi with a heel kick, spinning heel kick. And Ivar then from the top now looking for a moonsault, but Kofi is using a shield to his advantage. Then tossed Ivar from the top turnbuckle all the way through a table, breaking the floor. Crazy spot. All of a sudden, Ivar's chick Ivala launches herself from the apron, so Xavier Woods came out from the back to even up the odds. This gave Ivar some time to regroup. Kofi was still in the driver's seat until Ivar caught Kofi and drove him through the table in the corner, countering his trouble in paradise. Ivar, with Kingston down, climbed to the very top rope and hit a moonsault, winning the Viking Rules match. Pretty good match. I'll give it 2 stars 3/4. Fun little thing full of good spots, good table bumps, good shield bumps. Next up, we had Shinsuke Nakamura. I was tongue-tied, but Ricochet had his bad promo skills continuing there. So he said in a cringy way, "What's up, you piece of crap?" He said backstage, "What's up, you piece of crap?" And then attacked Nakamura. She should have a manager or a mouthpiece. Ricochet, good old Ricochet. He's so great in the ring, but he needs a manager or a mouthpiece. Raquel Rodriguez versus Nia Jax next. Great. It's gonna be more Nia Jax. She's the Charlotte of Raw. Priest is shown backstage blaming JB McDonough, as he should, and Mummy says she's got a rematch for them next week for the titles. Okay, because that's what we need. More hot potatoing the tag titles. At least they better stay on the team. They better just decide to go one way and stay that way. And if Judgment Day wins the titles back, what was the point of their first reign? Only to lose it for a week. They have no division, and then they treat their titles like this. I don't get it. At least Priest was open with JD McDonough. That's how all the group should be. They should always be looking strong. Back in the ring, they said Nia Jax is making 0 friends since she returned to WWE. They didn't need to add to since she returned to WWE. I don't think Nia Jax makes very, very many friends any other time. I'll attempt to review this shit they call a match with Nia Jax. She did hit a Samoan drop and didn't end up killing the talent, which is a new thing. And then she went for the Anaya later. Rodriguez back to her feet with a big slam to Anaya off the top as she caught her. All of a sudden, Ripley runs to the ring and it's a DQ, so Shayna and Ripley then go at Jax as Shayna Baszler came out. And they had words. This could have been an epic division if they didn't screw up Shayna Baszler with all of those losses. All those fruit roll-up, which is what BC Amplified always calls those roll-ups, fruit roll-ups. With all those victories, she even jobbed to Dana Brooke and Lacey Evans. Remember those 1-minute losses for a couple years ago? They had Shayna Baszler rolled up in a minute and losing in 50 seconds. It was terrible. But I'm all for making Shayna look tough. She deserves it. Good backstage with McIntyre and Mullins program. They're making a compelling program heading into Crown Jewel. I liked the storyline with McIntyre and Rollins backstage. It was logical and it was good, compelling storyline going forward. You always want to build drama going forward in the angles for your matches, especially your championship matches. So I like where that's going. Jey Uso and Mr. Oh, the show. Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso got interviewed by Michael Cole, and Michael Cole said a few things like, "Are you not going to be talking about or taking your route for the title anymore because you're a tag champion?" And the crowd just like, "Oh," as if that's the biggest insult ever. And Michael Cole even said, like your dad used to do to win the title. And the crowd went, "Oh!" Like Michael Cole's not burning him; he's asking him legitimate questions. I don't understand everybody's gripe in this. Maybe it's just the way Michael Cole said it, but no. Those were decent questions, and unfortunately we didn't get to hear the answer because Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens came to the ring and challenged them for the titles later in the night. So we get that, but it would have been good to hear Cody's decision as far as the main event title goes. Maybe on the road to the Royal Rumble we'll hear something about that. So we had that triple threat match to see who faces Gunther next week between Bronson Reed, Chad Gable, and Ricochet. Some nice counter wrestling by Ricochet and Bronson Reed with Gable. A lot of nice moves in this match. Suplexes, moonsaults, ankle lock attempts, ankle locks. Reed broke it up, dropping Ricochet on Gable, then a running senton and a tsunami by Ricochet. As Cole said, take a good look, Gunther. That's your next opponent, Bronson Reed. I give it 3 stars and a quarter. That was just a good match. Bronson Reed, Gable, and Ricochet. I gave it 3 stars and a quarter. Commercial break interrupted it, but there were too many great moments to ignore. Lynch then talks about how she's not a hard woman to find, calls Xia Li her honey bunches. Drew comes out to a mixed reaction, mostly positive though. JD McDonough, his opponent, comes out with Dirty Dom. No booing to Dirty Dom tonight because he wasn't given enough mic time. JD helped Judgment Day win the gold and lose the gold. McIntyre had vicious offense, chops. Dirty Dom tried to fuck it up, but Drew sent him into the table with his body weight, and then he hits a Claymore on McDonough and goes over him 1, 2, 3. I rate that 1.5 stars. Mummy and Priest watching the TV, and Rhea says, "I got a plan, trust me." And that builds intrigue. You want to have those cliffhangers. So, good job there. Then they have a video package of Gargano and Ciampa. And they have the beatdown by Imperium. I think they didn't want Gargano to have live mic skills. I think they wanted to have it done already. Plus, I think the beatdown was another reason for the pre-match interview rather than it being a live interview. Becky Lynch with Knox one-on-one. This match was a stalemate. A lot of back and forth, but Becky ultimately, with the bad arm, has a submission on Knox, and she retains her title with submission. I rate the match 2 stars. Next up, we had the main event: the Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens against Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare. Before the match starts, Ripley was backstage and says that she wants Baszler one-on-one next week. So that's like 4 or 5 matches they're already announcing for the season premiere next week. Don't get me started on the season premiere, why they call it that. It makes no sense. It's not the beginning of the season. It's not the beginning of the year. It's not. It's just a time where television has their season premieres, September, October. So they're trying to capitalize ratings wise, just like that. So it's kind of a cheap way. Anyway, the main event tag was solid. We got a lot of good wrestling, a lot of stalling at the beginning because there was commercial breaks. I'm not sure if that's why, but there was a lot of time left in the time slot. And I wrote down play by play what happened, but I'm not going to go through all of it. We have to shut down this review a little bit quicker than I wanted to do it a little quicker than 10 minutes, but it's almost at the 11-minute mark. So thanks for watching if you've watched this far. I love doing these reviews, and I love to have you here. Owens and Zayn, tons of super kicks in this match, desperation clotheslines. They were knocked out, but they still went for clotheslines. Jey USO and Cody Rhodes did great. I give the match 3 stars. A great title defense on Raw. They shook hands afterwards, and Raw ended on a good note, and that's fine. I think you should end on a good note sometimes to be realistic. It's a little contrived and a little bit unofficial if you always end on a bad note. So ending on a good note is sometimes a decent idea. I give this Raw a 6 out of 10. I hold the bar high, but then again, I also hold it low, knowing what today's wrestling is. It'll be interesting to see what next week's show is, and plus this Friday night with Roman Reigns on SmackDown, so stay tuned for that. For Raw from Omaha, Nebraska on October the 9th, 2023, I'm Brett Mix from MachoWrestling101. Macho Madness. It's got more to offer. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Have a good night, eh? I'm Canadian. That's yay. Good night, eh?